Yes. I was just wondering. There used to be what was known as the Spanish Armada. Yeah. And the on his return to England, he jokingly remarked that he had singed the Spanish king's beard. Yes. Had delayed the attack, boldly sailing the Spanish harbor, destroying both ships and supplies. You know, there are a lot of royal families that think that this is a joke, but it's not. You know, I heard that the Queen had an armada of a large number of dogs, yes, that like to be in outer space. Pooh. Now, let's say I found out that you were using the natural resources of the actual planet, yes, to have super top secret armadas of those that are not actual citizens of the United Kingdom. I'd just like to know, is there an actual armada? See, I would have thought that there would have been an obligation that at any time you take any of the natural resources of this planet, yes, and put those natural resources in outer space, yes, that there would be some sort of law about that. Poop. Now, let's say you're in a different nation and you're in the royal family and you think, well, it's funny singeing a guy's beard. Poop. My thought is if I found out that you had an armada, yes, and there was a quite a few fish that were the employees of the armada. I'd say I'd have the right to sue royal families, yes, for taking the natural resources of the planet, yes, Earth, and using it to build anything in outer space without the world knowing what they were doing. Now, there's the idea of the moon. Did anybody decide that they would purchase large amounts of natural resources? And then convert those natural resources to actual technology or top secret bases or something else that you were going to do. Yes. And then you were going to build from these locations on the moon. Something that floats around in outer space. Poop. Now, it's one thing to build a satellite, yes, launch it from the planet, yeah, knowing that it's being launched from the planet and built on the planet. Poop. It's another thing to take all those supplies up to the moon, build yourself some sort of space scooter, and then decide, well, we don't have to tell humanity. Yes, we don't. Now, my experience has been is the Queen is big into the royal family top secret right now. Now, did you make one of these 21st or 22nd century armadas? Yes. Similar to how they had it back in the 1800s and 1700s? Yes. Why don't we call the post office? See, I thought that if you went to the post office and you were on the postal service system, yes, you are you upset today? As soon as the postal employees realize how I do things as a family, see, I sue and I imprison. Pouch! Now, why don't you give me the post offices of the United Kingdom? Yeah. And all of those, see, in the 1860s and 1870s, yes, there was a growth of the population west of the Mississippi River. Yeah. Now, it was a long time before railroads were able to be built, connecting lines and spurs to reach the many areas. To carry mail to places not located on railroads, yes, the post office department set up star routes. These routes were given by contract to private companies, and there have been dishonesty in the awarding of these contracts before President Arthur came to office. Oh, now there was a president named Arthur. Ooh, Arthur Chester Alan Arthur, the 21st President of the United States. Now, he had a duty, yes, he did, and his Attorney General to prosecute the companies with dishonest contracts and try to get back the money for the government. The Attorney General of the United States, yeah, Barr, boop. Is that right, Sessions? Ouch. It looks to me that the actual job of the Attorney General of the United States is to prosecute, yes, companies or individuals that are dishonest and get the money back for the government. Now, Holder, yes, Loretta, poop! Sessions, right now, bar, poo. It looks to me like the Attorney General has not been prosecuting individuals and companies that have contracts with the government to get the money back. Now, it can't be that much different being an Attorney General of the United States. Why don't you get me the attorneys that work in the Attorney General's office? Yeah. See, over here, yeah, we have corrupt sheriffs. Yes, we do. Corrupt police departments. In fact, I had noticed that there are quite a few contracts for rural mail carriers, yes, that use their own private vehicle instead of those little trucks that you have there in the post office. Yes. Why don't you give me every contract of the postal service? Yes. For the last 40 years, and the individuals that are the rural postal carriers, yes, that use their own private vehicle. Yes, I do. I'd like to know how much money you can get getting paid that. Yeah. See, I had noted. Well, the Attorney General of the United States is getting sued, and quite possibly you'll end up in the bar right now because you keep fucking around with that shit from the FBI, right? Pooch. Your job is okay. You need to get a copy of the Children's Encyclopedia, Bar. They were not very successful, but the public attention given to the cases forced the post office to become more careful. Now, let's say email the Department of Justice tens of thousands, could be hundreds of thousands of times, and you're sitting there fucking around with an FBI report instead of prosecuting the motherfuckers.